You are standing here transfixed. You have never seen the sky this way before. It's like magic. Yes, indeed, in every sense. You see the silhouette of the mountain. You pinch yourself and ask, am I really here? How in the world did I get here? Of course, you had a dream to explore, a dream to experience, and a dream to break through barriers. And you went for it. In your heart, you knew this would be different. Maybe even a life-changing experience. Destination Africa, a memorable safari into the Serengeti, and an awe-inspiring climb of Mount Kilimanjaro. With Heshi Siegel and me leading this expedition, if it is your dream, it is your right to have this dream fulfilled now. And yes, it is an expedition, a true fulfillment of dreams. And there could not be a better time than now. Every day you get older, and every day it gets harder. With us, you have the best of both worlds. Heshi brings enthusiasm, high energy, and a bigger vision of humanity. And I bring a more steady, reliable, consistent, and experience as your guide. And that, people tell me, makes everything possible, even in Africa. This adventure is a lifetime gift that only a few give themselves. So why not let it be you? Be bold and be one of those. Let me take you on a short trip. In fact, an adventure that will both excite and educate you. You land and immediately you become aware of the dichotomies and the contrasts of Africa. On the one hand, you have this hodgepodge shop in the middle of town selling everything from soup to nuts, right beside a curio store that sells items worth thousands of dollars. But let's not dawdle in town. Let's actually move out. Safari vehicle, just imagine yourself standing here, camera ready, in full suspense, not sure what you're going to be seeing, but knowing that you will be seeing something pretty exciting. Home away from home can be two things: a luxury hotel with the most spectacular view, or at Wild Camp, these stand-up tents with regular beds, shower, and even a toilet. All the comforts of home, and so much more. Kids are welcome. Can you imagine what these guys are going to be telling their buddies when they get back to school? The first of the big five, the elephant, and this old codger, even missing his tusks so close we can almost touch him. Ah, the king of beasts. At times, we are mere feet away from them. Last time, we actually had 21 sightings. And I know that every time you see one of them, your heart will beat a little bit faster, even though you know we're in the comfort of this vehicle and safety of this vehicle. However, you also know their extreme power. And even though we are completely safe, your ticker keeps on fluttering, guaranteed. So just a couple more sightings. The Cape Buffalo. And here this guy has just had his beauty mud bath. The leopard, the shy one. And here's another shy one, the rhino. And these are the last of the two big five. And many, many times people actually don't see them. However, our trekkers are so good that every single time I've been here in the Serengeti, and it's been 5 times, we have actually seen them. You come around the bend in the road and you see these stately giraffe. And these guys, maybe not quite as stately, but definitely equally cute. Imagine standing just a few feet away from hippos and literally feeling the vibes of nature. So different from viewing them on TV or even on this 2-dimensional surface. The speedy cheetah. In fact, last time we saw kill. From the ferocious to the friendly, the zebra, who commingles with wildebeest in herds of thousands and literally up to about 10,000. They really know how to coexist and live harmoniously together. I wish we as human beings knew how to do the same. Follow the leader. And of course, the leader is following his instincts, pursuing the lifeblood of all existence, which of course is water and the green grass. And they travel up the west side of this 400-mile rift valley and then circle back down on the east side. And literally, based on where they are or their position, you can set your calendar by them. More leaders, this time the Maasai, fierce warriors, and in fact scary at first, because frequently when we arrive, they come charging at us in mock battles, stamping their feet, chanting and brandishing their sticks. They too follow their leaders and vehemently cling to their nomadic and symbiotic existence with nature. Actually, it's such a treat to behold. How they love their kids. They just cherish them. And again, the question I always have is, how do they save the onslaught of our Western culture that has impinged on them for about 200 years and stay the proud people true to their heritage and their values? Again, I'm going to say we can learn from them. Let's shift gears and go to the mountain. On the way to the top, we go through every single climatic zone on Earth, starting from rainforest to moorland, to semi-arid, of course, to high desert, and ultimately what could be called alpine. Just look at the majesty of these colors. We truly see and appreciate the beauty of nature, especially as it compares to the concrete jungles that surround us in our day-to-day living. Here, we truly have a chance to become one with nature, to feel it, to connect with it, and to cherish it. And even more important, to again become really reconnected with ourselves. Just some trekkers approaching the mountain, going through a rocky stretch. And I did call them trekkers instead of climbers because it is a non-technical climb. And the most technical part of it all is a good pair of hiking boots and some trekking poles or walking sticks. The Bronco Wall, a 1,000-foot cliff that really scares people initially. And it really does trigger admiration, but also fear. And you can see the specks of humanity beautifully woven into the tapestry of this landscape. The cliff looks massive and scary, yet it turns out to be quite a cakewalk. Here, like this wall, things that might appear so monumental in our everyday lives simply tend to fade away. On the entire climb, and especially at times like this, we have the opportunity to become completely present. What I mean by that is live completely in the moment. And as you can see, we have some choices here. We can either stay in the safety of the path, which is to our right, or like Olivier, we can step on the edge of life. Just look at the precipice to his side. Also look at the porter with the yellow pack, balanced, heavy pack actually, balanced on his neck. Just along the path with some of our friends or people that became really dear friends. A typical shot of the path leading up to high camp, the trek leading up to high camp, we could call it. And along the path, we can find two attitudes from previous climbers. One says, life is so sweet, but very short. The other one says, quit your complaining and keep walking. And again, another opportunity for two choices. Stay on the safety of the path or step onto the more euphoric edge. I don't know if you've seen this, the Milky Way, or even the Southern Cross, which you actually don't see because it's behind me. On the way to the summit, though, just before we get to the summit, we see some of the snows of Kilimanjaro, the ice cap that is accumulated over thousands of years into this layering of ice and snow. Here we see a 400-foot wall that is gradually crumbling. And of course, we are told that through global warming, in the next 20 to 25 years, this wall will be completely gone. Just some very happy smiles at the summit. We've just arrived here in the early morning glow. And I'm not sure which is more heat producing or which is warmer, the sun's glow or the feeling of accomplishment. The last day on the mountain and a very, very happy farewell. It's a celebration and an appreciation of all in this diverse circle of humanity. Here, race, color, differences really have all faded away. The porter's existence depends on us adventuring in their land and them utilizing their skills and their strengths in assisting us climbers. They do this as just a normal part of their lives. We climb for the experience, for the joy of it. And if we're really conscious of the opportunity for surfacing personal capabilities we don't even know we have. And in this way, we contribute to each other. Now, after the climb, we have a couple of options. You can fly home, or you can spend a bit of time with Heshi and her orphans. You might know that Heshi actually looks after about 1,000 orphans in Africa, brings brand new clothing every time we come, brings school supplies and also medical supplies. And the people in the yellow shirts are fellow adventurers that have come to frolic with the kids. Imagine a kid having received a brand new pencil and showing this level of joy. He hasn't even received his t-shirt yet, like the kids behind him. Heshi's commitment is to have 1 million purity water bottles in the hands of children who are now dying at the rate of 5,000 per day. I repeat, 5,000 per day from drinking polluted water by the end of 2020. And here is one of the earliest batches that have been taken to Africa. So imagine yourself standing on the highest point, or having stood actually on the highest point in Africa. A story to tell like no other. It's your story and a memory never to be forgotten. If you are like most people at this point, you have fears swimming in your head. Fear of Africa, a far-off land, summiting Mount Kilimanjaro, altitude, physical demands, food, toilets, sleeping accommodations, etc., etc. On some of my previous 5 expeditions, some participants have had these fears, and instead of being stopped, their adventurous spirit conquered the fear. And afterwards, most have said about the climb, it's the hardest thing I have ever done, and it is the best thing I have ever done. And yes, with my guidance, you too can do it safely, enjoyably, and in an environment where the outer journey does trigger the inner journey. One guarantee, your life will never again be the same. You will have discovered something about you that has been hidden. This will surface, and it will inspire and motivate you for the rest of your life. My name is Werner Berger. I'm the oldest person in the world to have climbed the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents, including Mount Everest. And this summer, Mount Kilimanjaro will be for my 6th time. So I urge you to pick up the phone. Here are my phone numbers, 215-642-0083, and my email address. To pick up the phone and call me right away and simply say, I'm in. What is the next step? Do this now, for our dates are fast approaching. If you do both the climb and the Serengeti, the climb and the Serengeti, it's June the 28th to July the 12th. And I haven't even told you about the leadership development process that's part of this adventure. It too is guaranteed to lift your sense of personal power and significantly to new heights. There's also an affiliate program. As Harley King says, may your dreams be larger than mountains, And may you have the courage to scale their summits. In other words, the summit of your dreams. As I said, my phone number is 215-642-0083. Or call me, or email me, or Facebook me, and we will chat about this, your next adventure.